Picture this. You're a parent on a supposedly trustworthy school admissions platform called Ravenna Hub. You log in, click into your kid's profile. There's the cute photo, the school application, all the rest of it. Up in the browser bar, there's a little number in the URL. That's your child's ID. And if you just change that number, even by one, boom, you're suddenly looking at some other child's full profile. No hacking tools, no scripts, no dark web hoodie. Just type a different number, hit enter, and now you've got another kid's name, date of birth, home address, school details, photo, mum and dad's email and phone number, even info about siblings, laid out in front of you. This is a site run by Venture Ed Solutions, bragging it serves over 1 million students and handles hundreds of thousands of applications a year. That scale, and this level of stupidity. The fancy name for this is IDOR, Insecure Direct Object Reference. But in normal human language, it's, tell me which record you want, with zero follow-up question of, are you actually allowed to see that record? Proper access control is primary school stuff. You don't just hand any adult in the building the keys to every child's file because they happen to be in the building. You check they're the right parent for that specific kid. And Ravenna didn't even bother to hide the keys. The student numbers were sequential. TechCrunch created a test account, saw a 7-digit number, and worked out there were roughly 1.63 million records sitting before it. So any logged-in parent, in principle, could just walk that range and hoover up details on over 1 million children. Who they are, where they live, where they go to school, and how to reach their families. This is not, oh well, tech is hard, edge cases happen. This is forgetting to put a bloody lock on the door while you're storing the most sensitive thing you could possibly hold, kids' personal data. Names, dates of birth, addresses, school info, family contacts. That is jackpot material for stalkers, abusers, identity thieves. You double check and triple check this stuff. You don't ship with change a digit in the URL to browse other people's children as an undocumented feature. Now, the bug itself is horrific, but the response from Venture Ed is what really makes my blood boil. TechCrunch tells them on a Wednesday, and to be fair, they fix it that same day. Fine. That's the absolute flaw, that's not heroic. You notice your front door's missing, you put a door on. Congratulations, you've reached basic competence. Then the grown-up questions start. Are you going to tell families their children's data might have been exposed? Can you actually see, from your logs, if anyone abused this and walked those sequential IDs? Have you ever had a third party test your security? And who owns cybersecurity inside the company? And suddenly, the confident marketing voice vanishes. The CEO says, we replicated the issue and addressed the vulnerability, and then stonewalls. Wouldn't commit to notifying users, wouldn't say if they can even detect improper access, wouldn't answer about independent testing, wouldn't name who's responsible for security, just silence and no further comment. When you're sitting on data about over 1 million children and your attitude to basic accountability is, we fixed it, don't ask questions, that's unforgivable. Those sequential IDs meant roughly 1.63 million records were theoretically accessible to any logged-in parent who fancied experimenting. That's not one weird edge case, that's a systemic exposure. And the subtext here is ugly. If you can't clearly say, yes, we log access properly, yes, we can spot abuse, yes, we've had third-party testing, and yes, this person owns security, then frankly, nobody really does. So I'm going to turn this straight back on you. If you build or run anything with user data, schools, edtech, membership sites, whatever, and you're wincing right now because you don't know who owns security, you've never tried changing IDs in a URL, and you just kind of hope no one would ever try that, you are already halfway to being the next Ravenna headline. Your homework is not a 5-year roadmap, it's this week. 1. Go to a URL or API in your system, change an ID, see what happens. If you can see someone else's data, that's not a bug. That's an incident waiting to be printed in TechCrunch. 2. Ask yourself, if something dodgy did happen, could you prove it from logs, or are you running on vibes? 3. If a journalist emailed you tomorrow about a flaw exposing sensitive data, do you know exactly who leads, who talks to users, and what you'd tell them? If any of that is, I don't know, you've got work to do. I'm going to leave it there before my accent gets even stronger and I just start swearing in Glaswegian. But this won't be the last simple bug, massive consequences story we talk about. Sort your basics out now, while it's just me shouting in your headphones, not your company name in the next breach headline.